I made the switch to an EV 4 years ago now when I sold my 2010 Hyundai Accent to lease a 2021 Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus. And at the time, I just had to show everyone in my circle because no one in Canada had a Tesla back then. And it felt like I was driving in the future with so much new and cool tech at my fingertips. And well, now fast forward 4 years, and I've since returned that 2021 Model 3 to purchase a new and refreshed 2024 Tesla Model 3, which is a huge upgrade in its own right, but it still remains on that Model 3 platform that I and millions of Tesla owners have come to know and love. So it got me thinking, Tesla sells millions of vehicles every year now, and many of these buyers are new EV owners and fresh to the Tesla ecosystem. So why not make a quick but relatively detailed crash course on things that you should know if you're a new Tesla owner. And if you enjoy this video, please take a second to leave it a like and consider subscribing to my channel for more Tesla content. Alright, so one of the first things that you should get familiar with as a new Tesla owner is how to actually get in and out of your vehicle, which might seem quite straightforward, but there are some extra things to be aware of, especially if you're a new owner. 90% of the time, you'll lock and unlock your Tesla by way of the phone app, which will connect with your Tesla via Bluetooth on its own and unlock the doors by simply approaching the car, as we can see me doing right here. And the same holds true for locking the car, where your phone key will do most of the work as you get out of the car and simply walk away. It will automatically lock the doors and fold in the mirrors. Now, if for some reason your phone loses connection with your Tesla, which often happens when you say toggle on and off Bluetooth for other reasons, well, you can use the key card to unlock the car by placing it on the outside of the driver's side B pillar. And the car may also ask you to tap the key card on the charger in the center console if you have a 2024 Model 3, or in the middle of the center console on older models to allow the car to be put in gear and driven off. Now, unlike most vehicles that have protruding door handles, Tesla handles are flush to the body, making the car look sleeker, but it will guaranteed confuse your passengers. So to open the doors from the outside, all you need to do is push on the large part, at which point the window will roll down slightly to give it room with the door frame, and then you can pull on the long handle part to open the vehicle, which is the same for all of the doors of all Model 3s and Ys. Now, to note here, you can also pop open the door by pressing hard and quick on the large part, which will electronically unlatch the door, and then you can open it normally. Additionally, if for some reason the door handle gets stuck, you can unlatch the front driver's door from the Tesla app using this icon right here, which electronically pops open the door. And this can be handy if, say, ice has frozen over the door handles during winter. Now, if you're inside the vehicle, there are 3 ways to get out. The main way is, of course, by pushing on this large button, which electronically unlatches the door. However, if there happens to be any issues with electronically opening the door using this button, you can also open the door manually by pulling on this lever right here, which for some reason is the main way passengers tend to attempt opening the doors. So make sure to let new passengers know to use this button. And finally, if all else fails, you can open the door using this secret little latch in the bottom of the door card to manually open the door using this yellow hoop. But that's a last resort, of course. And actually, little bonus here, you can set the desired height of your Tesla's trunk by opening it normally, then closing it down to the desired height, and then holding down the button for 3 seconds, at which point it'll beep twice, and that is now the set height your trunk will open to in the future. Let's now talk more about the phone key, as this is one of the best features that you'll love about owning a Tesla, but that many don't know the full capabilities. So from the phone key, you can control a ton of the car's features directly from this 4-icon menu. In this case, we have lock and unlocking the vehicle, the climate controls, unlatching the front driver's door, and opening and closing the charge port, all of which are practical to have at your fingertips. But if you want to change these icons, you can do so by clicking and holding down on an icon, allowing you to customize your controls from this larger list, including things such as opening the front, defrosting the car, and opening the trunk. Additionally, in the controls section, you can check the PSI for each of your tires directly from the app, which is quite convenient. And one of my favorite parts of having a Tesla is the ability to preheat and pre-cool the car, depending on the season, which is accessible in the climate tab. So it'll tell you the current interior and exterior temperature of the car right here, and then you can activate the climate by pressing on this button and setting the desired temperature. Additionally, you can heat the steering wheel, the back seats, and heat or cool the front seats, all of which are awesome in midwinter especially. The phone key also allows you to view charging stats, such as where you're charging your vehicle and the estimated cost of charging on a monthly and yearly basis, by allowing you to set the cost per kilowatt hour in these different locations. For example, I have it set to 8 cents per kilowatt hour consumed when I'm charging at home. The phone key also allows you to access upgrades, schedule charging, which we'll talk about shortly, and view the live cameras if you have premium connectivity. But for now, I want to mention the service tab, which is where you'll request and view all of your service appointments as a Tesla owner. So if you have any issues with your car, you'll first navigate to this tab, click on Request Service, choose a topic, and then describe the issue through text and photos, at which point a Tesla service rep will reach out to you shortly, requesting more info and or with a predetermined quote for the work that needs to be done. For the record, I've used this several times over the past 4 years to change tires, have suspension work done, blocked wiper fluid lines, and other maintenance. And I can say that any repair that's done in-house at a Tesla service center has been relatively straightforward and overall a great experience. In parallel to the phone key, one feature that's important to know about is driver profiles, which are actually tied to each driver's phone key. So as you approach your Tesla, it'll recognize who is about to drive and get the seat, mirrors, and steering wheel positions ready for that driver, along with other settings that the driver has in place, such as their preferred driving dynamics. So the best way to set driver profiles is in the car under the profile section, accessible right here, where you'll see the phones and key cards synced with your Tesla, along with the active profiles. I have two, one for myself and one for my fiance. From here in the settings, you can change the positioning of the side mirrors, the steering wheel height and distance, and the seat positioning. Once that's done, you'll click on Edit Driver Profile, and that will now be tied to the profile in question. So the next time you walk up to the car, it'll get everything set up accordingly for that driver. Speaking of driving, EVs feel very different than driving gas vehicles, especially at the beginning when you aren't used to their instant torque, regenerative braking, and lack of an engine sound. So when you first get into your Tesla, there isn't really anything to do in order to turn on the vehicle and start driving off. It's already unlocked and on from either your phone or card key, and it's ready to be driven off. So to do this, you simply put your foot on the brake and either pull down on the stalk if you have a pre-2024 model, or select drive or reverse on screen in newer models such as the one I have. To park, you stop driving and click on this button right here, or unlatch your seatbelt and it'll automatically put the Tesla in park. Oh, and by the way, for the refreshed Model 3 where everything is done on screen, there are buttons up near the dome lights to access these drive modes in case for some reason you can't access the screen. Now, regenerative braking is one of my favorite EV features, allowing for 1 foot driving pretty much 80% of the time. And the way it works is that when you pull your foot off of the accelerator pedal, the kinetic energy of your car in motion is then captured and converted back into energy stored in the battery pack, rather than dissipating it entirely as heat through regular braking. So this is automatically on in your Tesla at all times, but keep in mind that it'll only work if your battery isn't fully charged. So if you ever charge up your battery fully for, say, a road trip, don't be surprised when you pull your foot off of the accelerator and you continue rolling down the road without braking. Additionally, in the dynamic dynamics tab of the settings, you can select between different drive modes, such as chill, standard, and insane if you have a performance Model 3, which will noticeably impact the amount of acceleration and torque that you're accessing when pressing down on the accelerator. And although it is fun to drive fast in a Tesla, I will concede, well, I tend to keep mine on chill mode as it consumes less energy and increases the longevity of your tires. Premium connectivity is one of Tesla's monthly subscriptions that allows you to access things such as live traffic visualization, Sentry mode, satellite view of maps, music streaming, and a couple more features. But it's debated by owners as to whether or not it's truly worth that monthly cost. Now, if you're a new Tesla owner, you'll get a first month for free to access these features and entice you to continue on with a membership. That costs $10 a month in the US and $13.99 per month in Canada, which I'll tell you right now, I am subscribed to this subscription and I think it's well worth it, notably for a couple of the features specifically. Viewing live traffic is something that I use every day on the Tesla screen when driving around town to influence my navigation decisions throughout the city, which I think is worth it because otherwise you'd essentially have to have Waze pulled up on, say, your phone, making it an overall less seamless experience. Additionally, premium connectivity allows for the live viewing of your Tesla's cameras in the app, which I really like as it's allowed me to see what's going on in, say, busy parking lots and during service appointments. What's more is that premium connectivity allows for speed camera chimes and a couple of other features that are really nice to have during navigation. Plus, of course, being able to stream your favorite music through YouTube Music or Spotify directly in the Tesla UI is nice rather than using Bluetooth on your phone. Now, do keep in mind that you can actually stream music, access internet browsing, and watch video streaming by simply hotspotting your phone to your Tesla. However, you need premium connectivity to access all of those navigation features previously mentioned, so it's really going to be up to you here as to whether or not you think it's worth the monthly cost. Moving on, Teslas are some of the most accessorized cars in the industry, with owners finding countless ways to spend their money on accessories for basically all parts of these vehicles, and I can't blame them, as I've highly accessorized my 2024 Model 3 to just make it more usable and personalized to my liking. Some of the accessories that I would 100% recommend you pick up if you're a new Tesla owner are the following. A screen protector to protect both the front and rear screens in your Tesla from impacts and scratches, a set of all-weather floor mats to protect the carpets from salt stains, hair, and other debris, a set of mud flaps that offer adequate protection of the bottom fender from salt, rocks, and other debris on the road, center console organizing trays to make them more usable overall, and a rear seat protector if you have an animal or children to protect the rear seats from damage and filth. Those are 5 of the accessories I would 100% recommend and that you can find on my Amazon storefront using the link down below in this video's description. And if you're curious about dozens of other accessories that I've purchased for review, I'd highly recommend you check out my 3 Tesla accessories videos that you can also find on my channel. Full self-driving is one of the most impressive features available in a Tesla, and I'd absolutely recommend that you at least try it out for a month, considering you can now subscribe to it monthly. This is one of those features that will absolutely blow your mind, as over the years, full self-driving has become absolutely incredible, driving better than many people on the road, unfortunately. And in the new 12.5 update, full self-driving is activated by clicking on the right scroll wheel once, and it utilizes the cabin camera to make sure that you're paying attention to the road. And you can even now use sunglasses without interrupting the self-driving. Additionally, it'll accelerate, change lanes, go through roundabouts, stop for pedestrians, and all around drive as any human should, which is really cool to see in action. But for the price, I'd only recommend it for road trips and times when you may want to bring your guard down a little bit. Having this on at all times at $100 a month here in Canada is definitely steep, considering I just like to drive anyways. One of the coolest features available though is actual smart summon, which is a feature that's sure to blow your mind. Seeing your car pull out of a parking spot and drive right up to you is honestly surreal the first time that you see it happen. Additionally, it is really good at auto parking, where you simply navigate through a parking lot and select one of the parking spots available and the car will do the rest. This is also the case for parallel parking. So if you're not good with parallel parking, well, hey, maybe it's worth $100 a month. But yeah, so try it out for yourself and come back to this video to let me know if you like it enough to pay for it monthly. And I would not recommend paying the $11,000 upfront. That really just doesn't make financial sense. Proper charging habits are one of the most important elements ensuring the longevity of your Tesla's battery. And luckily, although the topic of EV charging can get really detailed, it doesn't need to be super complicated. All you really need to understand is that Teslas are powered by different types of lithium batteries, which need to respect certain parameters to maintain a long life and ensure that they keep as much of their range as possible over the years of utilizing them. So chances are you'll be doing most of your charging at home on either a mobile 240-volt charger or a wall charger, which is what I would recommend for optimal charging speeds, both of which are considered to be low voltage level 2 charging options though, which tend to be the best solutions for quick charging while ensuring optimal battery health over the years. What's equally important to understand is that you should aim to maintain your Tesla's battery within a narrow state of charge, or SOC for short, that ranges between 50% to 80% as much as possible. Now, of course, you'll deplete your battery down to below 50% charge quite frequently, which is totally normal, but try to maintain it at least above 30% at all times, as it is known that depleting the battery below 20% is not good for its health, and depleting down to 0% can have lasting negative impacts. So to mitigate this, you should set your charging limit to 80% and plug it in every single day when the car isn't in use, which will maintain an optimal state of charge at all times. Additionally, you can set charging schedules from within your phone app or on the Tesla directly to charge your vehicle overnight when electricity rates are lower in your area, and to have the car be ready for you at a certain time of day. Equally important is to precondition your battery whenever you plan on using a high voltage supercharger. Now, although Tesla batteries are smart and do regulate the amount of electricity coming into the battery pack to limit premature degradation of the cells from supercharging, make sure that you're preconditioning the battery on your way to the supercharger to prep it for that high voltage charging. This can be done by setting the supercharger as the destination in your maps. It's really as simple as that. With the amount of tech packed into a Tesla, and considering they don't have engines and other dirtier components typical of a car, it's easy to forget that at the end of the day, there are still vehicles that have many mechanical components to them. And I mention this because I live in Canada and I'm someone who's always changed their winter tires and summer tires as well, solo, without going to the garage. But if you're going to attempt this yourself, here are some things that you need to know about. First off, to jack up the car, you need a set of these pucks that fit into designated holes around the frame of the car. And the purpose of these is to make sure that you're applying the weight of the vehicle to the frame rather than, say, accidentally damaging the battery pack that sits a couple inches further behind. This is crucial because a damaged battery pack could cost tens of thousands of dollars to fix or replace. Changing the tires themselves is pretty straightforward like any other vehicle, but with EVs, specifically rear-wheel drive Teslas, try to rotate the tires each season to promote even tread wear, as the amount of torque these cars have really eats away at the tires and tends to create uneven tire wear. Just take a look at these rear tires on my 21 Model 3. Otherwise, once the thrill of flooring it at every traffic light wears off after a month of ownership, I'd recommend once again putting your car in chill mode, which will really tone down the acceleration and contribute to to much longer tire life. But that's just me. And finally, I left part 10 of today's video as the miscellaneous category for things that you need to know about but that didn't quite make their own section of the video. If you have a 2024 Model 3 and most likely an upcoming Model Y Juniper, you can move the front passenger seat forward and backwards from the rear seat's screen, which is super practical for various applications. When you're ready to wash your car, make sure you put it in car wash mode, which is accessible through the settings, which closes all windows, locks the charge port, and disables windshield wipers, Sentry mode, walk-away door locking, and parking sensor chimes. Super good mode to know about. Additionally, when cleaning your screen off, you can put it into screen cleaning mode, which allows you to wipe the front touchscreen without activating buttons and changing settings. You can also change the sound dynamics by clicking on this icon in the media section, allowing you to change the tone of your sound, the balance across the vehicle, and the level of immersive sound. One super practical setting that I use in the winter when parking in my garage is the automatic side mirror folding, which is triggered when the car arrives at my home destination. So this is accomplished in the locks tab, where you can set the mirrors to fold in at a desired location. Super convenient setting that I love to use. Another feature that many people aren't aware of is that you can adjust your headlights in the service tab by clicking right here, and this allows you to change the direction of your headlights if that's something that you need to do for some reason. Valet mode is a built-in driver profile that limits speed and restricts access to some features like the glove box that you can select in your driver profiles if you're about to hand off your car to a valet, which I've never done, but at least I know it's there. You can also reorganize the dock at the bottom of your Tesla screen by clicking and holding down on an icon, at which point you can select and reorganize which icons you want in the dock. So that's a practical little tip for you. If you ever run into software glitches, which has happened to me on occasion, and I therefore need to restart the computer in my Tesla, all you need to do is place your foot on the brake and hold down on both of the scroll wheels until the screen turns black and you see the Tesla logo reappear. That will reboot your car's system. All right, so that was a really long video, but I hope it's helped you navigate your Tesla a little bit better. And if it has, please make sure to leave this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more Tesla content. And if you're in the market for a new Tesla yourself, make sure to take advantage of my affiliate link down in this video's description to get $1,000 off of the purchase of your next vehicle. Oh, and make sure to check out one of these two videos for dozens of additional hidden features and tips for optimal charging. I'm sure you'll love them as much as today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.